Hello, beautiful beings. Thank you for joining me here today for another Timeless Tarot reading. I hope you all had happy holidays and I wish you all a good start to this new year. I'm going to start by clearing the energy. I ask that my guides, my angels, my ancestors, my galactic family of the highest love and light, please channel through me the messages that this collective will need to hear when it reaches them. I thank you, I thank you, I thank you. I love you, I love you, I love you. Alright, let's get into it. I apologize in advance if you hear my cat running around. He's got the zoomies a little bit this morning. So, I'm going to start with this crystal tarot deck. So, this one didn't come out first, but it flipped like it wanted to be out first. So this is the High Priestess, Lapis Lazuli. It says, my intuition guides me to the truth. It's the High Priestess. The overall energy the High Priestess has is intuition, being very led by your higher self, by spirit, and being really in touch with your spiritual and psychic gifts as well. So the people that I'm talking to, I think, and feel that you are in this energy. The way that it flipped out, I don't think this is the future, although for some of you it could be, but I feel like for a lot of you, this is what you're currently in right now, is this High Priestess energy. I'm also getting the message that a lot of you have done the work to release everything from this past 9-10 year cycle as we entered 2026. So the energy I'm picking up on is a little bit of lightness in my body. So maybe that's something you feel, where it's just a representation of your soul being a little bit lighter, that you've released things. Plus, we also had a full moon a couple days ago at the time that I'm recording this. So the full moon could also have done even more releasing. And there's a lot of moon symbology in this card as well. I feel like you probably work closely with the moon. You're in touch with the moon phases, the moon cycles. You might have specific moon rituals that you do. And I'm really drawn to this like moon phase crown she's wearing. And it's almost as if Grandmother Moon has gifted you this moon crown because you work with her so much, you respect her so much, you give her so much gratitude and love, and use her energy in a beautiful way, that it's kind of like an adornment of love and appreciation for you working with her energy. And there's these waves coming out of their third eye and around their crown chakra. So you may have some true sight going on, some third eye activations, or you're very in touch with your third eye. You may see things, you may feel things, you may hear things, you may experience all the different ways that you can receive messages from the higher realms on the other side. I'm very drawn to these pillars as well. So these pillars have crystals on them, and it reminds me of like crystalline temples. So you might actually go to crystalline temples in your sleep or during meditation and receive messages and healing from beings in another dimension, a higher dimension. And the way that this is vibrating, it's hard to see, but it opens up to like this whole universe that's being channeled like through the crown and almost like being manifested out through the third eye. So I feel like there's a connection to all the higher realms. There's probably also a connection to the cosmos itself. There might be galactic family, but I'm feeling a lot of space energy. The way that I'm reading this, I'm feeling like all this space between is like the stars and galaxies. It's very interesting. And they're holding this book with a key on it. And the book I'm feeling is a book of wisdom. Wisdom you've gained over this last cycle. Like you've gained a lot of wisdom. You've learned a lot of potential lessons. And you're stepping into this new chapter fully embodying your power. Fully embodying your spiritual gifts. It was like in the past, you're just discovering all these gifts you have and doing a whole bunch of shadow work. And I feel like this next chapter is going to be you fully stepping into your power, your creative power, your intuitive power, your spiritual power, your personal power. And the key on the book is like the key to unlocking these new beginnings, these new versions of self that you receive after gaining and integrating this wisdom, which I believe you've done, which is what I'm hearing. So it's honestly a beautiful place to be in this new year, in this priestess energy, in this it's almost like a new you. It could be physically, it could be mentally, it could be spiritually, but that's what I'm hearing. And I'm still feeling this like lightness of self, which is kind of like a very beautiful feeling. It's almost like floaty, but in the best way. Not too disconnected. And then, oh, these are actually a couple cards that stuck together. So we have, I stand my ground and look for peace. And it's a garnet. You might want to work with lapis lazuli or lazuli. And the blue energy comes through really strong. Maybe working with the color blue, because the colors have a lot of spirit attached to them, especially higher. They're very much higher frequencies. Especially if you go all the way to like a plasma being, like blue flame or violet flame beings. It's a beautiful energy. It could be an invitation to work with them if you're not already. So this is the Five of Wands. I stand my ground and look for peace. So for this Five of Wands energy, I'm really feeling that this has to do with the embodiment of your personal power. This is you're not really gonna give in to anything that disrupts you, your power, your energy, your mental or emotional field either. It could be that you could be feeling a battle of wills at the moment. You may feel tested, or like there's this ego play fight and not necessarily like a serious attack. But if that situation is coming up for you, it will pass, and you will stand your ground, and you will stand in your peace and in your truth. Because no one can take your spirit, your truth, if you don't give away your power. So I feel like a lot of this is not giving away your power and standing strong. This could be also a sign of like a test or examination coming up, which is kind of interesting. I do have something similar to that in my life. But if that's the case, I take this as a good sign that you will pass and everything will work out, because we're in this energy of High Priestess, of a time for not struggling, but a time for thriving. And sometimes in the new year, when we're stepping into this new self, this new energy, this new cycle, we get tested. There's always like, I always feel tested when I step into new energy or a new cycle. Like spirit is like poking at you. Are you going to make the same mistakes as last time? Are you going to give your power away? Are you going to slip into old versions of yourself because it's, the path of least resistance? Or are you going to maintain your position of power, of radiance, of higher self, and stay true to the changes? And that's okay. Tests are a way to strengthen our power and really feel like I'm doing it. I'm standing my ground. I'm protecting my peace. I'm not going to give in to pettiness or anything like that. It's quite an interesting layout of cards, because like the cards that were stuck together was this Five of Wands and the Six of Wands. And it says, I'm proud of what I achieve and I accept my rewards. So it feels like there's this story being sort of laid out at the moment. So we have this test and then we have this achievement after that. This is like the sort of almost like a timeline I'm reading on this. So this says on the bottom of it, I am proud of what I achieve and I accept my rewards. It's a Six of Wands card. So this is about being triumphant, about being successful, about your achievements in general. And I feel like it could be whatever test, however you're individually going to be tested, you will succeed and you will be rewarded for that. You will be rewarded from spirit for not slipping into old patterns, for not slipping into an old self or old versions of you from the last cycle. You'll be rewarded for fully embodying this new you, this new self, this new life path. This life path that you've probably been manifesting for a while can finally start coming to fruition the more you embody and the more that there's distance between that old version and this new version. There's definitely going to be pride in your accomplishments, like whatever. You could also be finding success in a passion. It could be you're finding success in your art, your creativity, your music, your channel, your writing, your book, your business, your company, your position wherever you work. You might also be finding accolades or success or accomplishment there. Wherever you might have some passion and you keep applying yourself fully to that passion, I feel like you will be rewarded with a beautiful gift. You could have a token of appreciation from the public. It could be a physical award. It could be a trophy. It could be a feeling. It could be financial support. So if you have a yes or no question that's been percolating in your mind, sometimes the Six of Wands can also represent a yes. So that's just for some of you. If you've been struggling with this yes or no question about something specific, take this as a yes. And this definitely feels very tied to this Five of Wands. Like, I feel like they don't exist without each other. Like, this happens, this reward, this success, this accomplishment, because of the successful passing of this test, this spiritual test or physical test or whatever you're facing or that's coming up in this new year. And it could be something as simple as just not giving into to media or what news is saying or anything like that. So if that is something that typically pulls you down in spirit, you could be stronger and not let it pull you down, or not give into it, or not watch it, something like that. Taking some control and your power, and ultimately your intuition is guiding you. Your intuition and how you feel and all of that will point you in the right direction and keep you on course the more you tap into spirit and your higher self and the higher realms that are there to support you on your journey. All right. Feeling like this deck might have a little more expansion. We'll see. Do you have a message for this collective? Let's do that one. Beautiful. We have the Ace of Cups. This beautiful energy. You have all of these hands like grabbing, like reaching out for you, it seems. It's like people who want to covet what you have. They want to covet your abundance. See, this cup is overflowing into the pool, and people are like, it seems like they want to grasp at the cup, but they can't break the surface of the water. It's like they can't break this surface tension to actually grab you and grab your cup and drink it. So they're just almost like sipping on all of this excess, this overflow. They're sipping on it because they can't break through and grab it, although that could be very much so what they want to do. Because I don't get good energy from the hands. I just feel like it's like a give me mine, almost narcissistic. People who don't want you to be happy or successful or stand in your power. But there's this barrier. Like I see and I feel like an energetic barrier that's going on. Probably because you're divinely protected and could be doing protections yourself as well. But it's like they can't break the surface of the water. Like there's this energetic barrier so that they can't really steal from you. And you could be putting that barrier on by standing in your power, your personal power, your intuition, your spiritual power. It's honestly pretty immensely beautiful and positive. And I see this positive sign, right? And to me, it's just like this increase in wealth. It's almost like you're very positively charged. So there will be opposites who attract. And I don't mean in a good way. I mean like people who are operating at a negative are going to be drawn to your positive energy, to your light, like energetic vampires and things like that. It's like that's what I feel like these hands are people who haven't found the light, who can't find the light, who haven't learned their lessons yet, that are still facing some karmic cycles and things like that, and they're just in a different place than you on your journey. Because we don't want to like shame them or feel like we're better than them because we're at a different stage of our healing journey. we just want to give them grace that, okay, they're on their journey. We're not going to shame them. We're not going to act like we're better than them or think that we're better than them. But they're on a different stage than you are, and we don't necessarily want that interfering with where we are right now. So we can put up a loving barrier of, don't come towards me, please respect like my boundaries, set up boundaries, energetic, physical, whatever it is, to make sure that you are divinely protected. But I see this protection, I see this barrier, and I see this overflowing of your cup, this wealth. And I feel like the wealth that you have or are receiving is not just potentially like financial, but very spiritual in nature. Like there's spiritual wealth, like spiritual wisdom, spiritual protection, gifts, new insights, new memories. You could be unlocking even more past life gifts or memories from other lifetimes you've served in different time periods or realms or places. It can also be a sign of a new relationship or a new project, and it definitely reveals new beginnings, which makes sense because of this. We are in a new beginning. We're in a new cycle. We're in a completely new cycle, especially if you're going on the Chinese calendar year. We're in the year of the horse, and not just the year of the horse, we're in the year of the fire horse. So the fire horse is like the first one to make it to the race. If you know, like the story is like they're all racing to this finish line. And that's how they got into the spots for the years in the cycle. And the horse was the first one. You can correct me if I'm wrong. But this is like what I've learned. It could be false information. So, but the horse is the first one to make it, and the horse is really fast, determined, ambitious. And the year of the horse is all about new beginnings, new energy, new starts, all this kind of thing. And I think the last year of the horse was 2017. You can correct me if I'm wrong, go ahead. But if you think back to that year, what kinds of energy were you in? Was it like new beginnings, new starts? I know for me, I was having a lot of new beginnings and starts and feeling this freedom, this sense of belonging and beginnings. Like you could be making new friends, you could be expanding a social circle, you could be expanding your own potential community if you have like a community you work with, or you could have a new relationship coming in for you, or there could be all sorts of new beginnings, like new career, new financial stability, new passion projects, new hobbies, new connections, just a lot of new beginnings. And whatever is going to be coming up for you, whatever new beginning, project, people, there's just going to be this outpouring of love that comes from self. And you might be a little overwhelmed because you might feel these deeper feelings. Like there could be a deeper bond when it comes to people and community, or just a level of depth to your emotions while you're working on a new passion project or something of the sort. And it's like this intensity of falling in love with whatever it is. It could be a project. It could be your new self. You could be falling madly in love for this new version of yourself that has these boundaries, that's full of power, that's full of respect, that's full of intuition. It could be a person, it could be friends, it could be romantic, it could be a passion project, it could be a book you're writing, a music, like it's whatever you're feeling drawn to and passionate about in this new beginning, this new cycle. So it can, like the Ace of Cups can also be a sign of parenthood. So if that is something that you're trying for, and that's something you want to be a parent, you want that role in this life, that might be coming for you. Because that's a big new beginning, and sometimes Ace of Cups can be an overflowing of love from a new child that comes into your life. So that's all I'm getting for that Ace of Cups. Really exciting new year. I feel so much lightness. I hope you guys are feeling that too. Let's do some unicorns. Some unicorns wanted to say hello. All right, unicorn beauties, unicorn energy. That one definitely wants to come. Let's see. Oh, how cute. Look at that. It's called Skipper and Flora. And the bottom of it says, open like a flower and show others that you are valuable. Interesting. These are a mated pair, and they have two foals named Bluebell and Tumbleweed. So I feel like this card has to do with the final message of Ace of Cups of somebody being a parent or wanting to be a parent. So if that's you out there, I feel like you might be finding the partner you want to have children with, or you already have that person and children are like the next step that's coming for you. And if that doesn't resonate with you, because this is a collective reading, not everything's for every single person, the main message is to open like a flower and show others that you're valuable. So this could be you spreading your wings, opening your flower, if we want to be metaphorical, and showing your true self. No longer masking, no longer trying to fit into any sort of social or societal expectations of self, and really showcasing who you are. And I feel like who you are is full of love, full of light, full of creativity. You could be a little goofy, you could be fun, there could be neurodivergence involved. And the more that you show your true colors and your true self, and you exist in this version of you, the more that people can come to you. It's like birds of a feather flock together. So people who have a similar frequency of energy will find you, will want to be involved in your life in a positive, beautiful way. Because there's not just going to be an attractive of the opposite, right? So like these are negative energies that are attracted to your light, but you have this energetic barrier, so they can't get you. They can't like really siphon your energy. You're beyond that now. And so this positivity, this is going to be attracting, I keep hearing your tribe. It's like your tribe's on the way. If your tribe isn't already there, your tribe's on the way. Of friends, of community, or partnership, if that's what you're looking for. But we have to open up and let people in and see us. Maybe in ways we were afraid of being seen in other cycles and other selves that are no longer present. All right. I'm going to do an animal card. I get a lot of animal signs and synchronicities in my life. So, let's see. Is there an animal with a message for this collective at this time? So we have the lizard. Dream time. Pay attention to your dreams and visions. This can be part of your gifts. Your connections to the other side could be giving you a lot of messages in your dreams or your visions, or both. I know I get a lot of visitation in dream time, and you might as well. So really pay attention to those signs, those symbols, conversations, or like places. There could be revelations of future events. There could be just knowledge hidden within your dreams, or wisdom, or direct communication with beings of the highest love and light that are there to support you. So this is definitely giving High Priestess energy. Let me move these cards up. So you are definitely powerful to be receiving these visions, these dreams. I imagine they're very vivid, right? Like you could be having a lot of feelings, emotions, symbology, and your dreams and your visions might feel just so vivid, so real. I'm feeling like some Lemuria cards might want to come through. And these cards are so sticky, so I've got to fan these out for a second. Apologize for any noise. Okay, let's see. Ooh. Okay. You know what? This turned over, so I'm going to add that. Let's see. The more we step into our ancient Lemurian energy. So this one flipped over, and it's called harmonic flight. And I see it as two energies coming together. And when they come together, they're spiraling. It's like this person that comes into your life. This could be romantic, platonic, could be even your higher self. You working with your higher self. But whatever presence this is, it's like your DNA is entwining in a way that's it's like you're giving each other DNA upgrades. If it's physical, if it's spiritual, and it's your higher self, they're giving you DNA upgrades. If it's physical, you're both having this exchange of DNA upgrades. There could be exchange of real DNA if you're looking for children. And it ultimately accumulates or culminates, if that's a word, to this infinite energy. This infinite energy when you entwine. It's like this infinite love that you have for each other. Like this love knows no ends. There's a lot of forgiveness over little things. There's a lot of love. It doesn't feel like rose-colored glasses to me. It feels like a divine connection because we've ended this past cycle, and this new beginning is about new, beautiful love coming in for you that's divinely aligned with your divine priestess energy and spiritual energy that you're in right now. But definitely some upgrades from a friend, a partner, or your higher self are coming in. Love this. Unique gifts. This is the next card. Dude, the people I'm talking to, or person, is definitely very spiritually gifted. And I can feel this. I don't know how to describe it. I can feel this energy like straight up radiating from my hands right now as I like hold this card and I like tap into this energy deeper. Maybe someone's a Reiki healer, because it's like this huge projection of energy that's coming from my hands. It feels warm, it feels light, it feels like love, it feels tingly. So someone could be an energetic healer with their hands, or their hands could be highly receptive to energy. When you place your hand over objects, you might see things or feel things. You could also just like read energy with your hands, feel energy, exchange energy. There could be Reiki healing. This card is about unique gifts, which you definitely have. I'm always drawn to these. To me, these are wings at the waist. So wings to me are always a symbol of spiritual advancement. Like you gain wings in other lifetimes, and in this lifetime, the more we spiritually advance, the more we like unlock our wings. I know for a lot of us, or at least for me, I was working with some angels and that helped me release some of my wings, because sometimes your wings are bound when you come to Earth, because if they're not, you will be so airy and almost like overloaded, because you haven't yet in this lifetime, because you forgot everything, right? When you reincarnated, even if you have all these wings in your soul, if you have full access to everything, you'll be completely overloaded. It's like frying your circuits when everything's online, when you need to have these earth experiences to unlock your gifts, to gain wisdom, to be at the point where you can handle having your wings out. And I feel like whoever I'm talking to has already unlocked their wings, has done the work, the shadow work, the spiritual work, the attunement, the connection with the other side. It's a powerful, beautiful energy. And I you could also be starseed energy is what I'm feeling from this card, particularly, or some of you are starseeds. Could not be all of you, but there could be some specific gifts that you have related to that. Like you could be really attuned to frequencies and frequency healing, and or it could be light channeling or code channeling, like channeling symbols, codes. You could write down your information or just like do all of it, because I just feel this overwhelming amount of energy coming from this collective, this card. So you could do a lot. You could be clairaudient, you could be clairsentient, you could have a little bit of telepathy going on, where you might be able to share thoughts with people that are very close to you. There could be a lot of visions in your dreams, in your meditations, or in the waking world. Maybe you see spirits, maybe you can see into the Fey dimension or talk to trees and plants, and it's just like a lot of gifts, right? It's like I feel like the people I'm talking to can do all these things. You can channel light language, you can channel symbols, you have a little telepathy going on, you can get messages through like voices, through symbols, synchronicities, through feeling like empathic, or you can write it down, like it can channel through your hands. You have these very healing energetic centers at your hands that you can use to heal people, to heal animals, to do Reiki healing, or also just use them as like, they're like antennas that can pick up on frequencies of everything around you, is what it feels like. And it's very interesting. And you might also like see spirits. You might be able to pick up on memories attached to objects. And you might even be skilled at timeline jumping and timeline reconstructing, is something I'm hearing. I'm seeing like somebody like cutting away old timelines that don't serve them and then rebuilding new timelines, like energetically, which is a definitely a unique gift. So Very powerful, powerful collective. It's so great to be able to read for you. Oh my gosh, freedom. I got freedom. That's what I was saying about the year of the horse energy. And I've been feeling horses coming through a lot for me lately in visions and dreams. So I feel like the year of the horses and the horses in general are just like, let's go, let's ride. Like, it's kind of the energy I'm getting. But freedom. This year is about freedom. This year is about, I just feel like transformation and detachment from everything that doesn't serve us any longer. We've completely outgrown old versions of self from old cycles. We've learned lessons. Dragonflies do one of the most massive transformations in the insect world because they are born in water and then they grow up as nymphs in water as water predators essentially. But they have respiration that works through the water. And then they crawl out of the water, have a cocoon, and then turn into a freaking flying insect. It's like a fish becoming a bird. That is like the equivalent of what's happening. And in order to do that, of course, when they're in the cocoon, all their DNA turns to goo and completely realigns itself and restructures all the DNA so it will start forming into something else. It's such a crazy process. But to go from basically like a predatory fish to a flying animal is wild. It's insane. They're one of a kind, just like you are. You could have done this massive change over this past cycle, and you're like an entirely different being. You're on a different frequency. You are like probably like fully on this 5D track, 5D timeline is what I'm feeling, especially with the timeline work I saw. And you're definitely here to help usher in this like new age that will be coming in our lifetime. Like this lifetime, I keep getting messages more this new year of like this solar punk future. Things might have to crumble and be chaotic because from the chaos and the crumble of structures in our society that no longer serve us, out of that and out of climate disasters, we will birth a better, brighter future for all, for the plants, for the animals, for us. The old systems will not last forever. They can't. And it's so important that we exist in this light, to channel this light, to be this new version of ourselves, to help call in this timeline and anchor it. It's like we're these anchors for this timeline that the earth so badly wants, and so many people actually want too. A lot of people do not want these old systems that don't serve us. So we're going to be shaping it. It may take decades, but we'll get there. We will get there. And in the meantime, you're not necessarily here to suffer. We're here to learn our lessons, but we're also here to grow and become this higher and higher version of ourselves, this higher frequency of ourselves. And we will be manifesting like things that we desire, things that are highest aligned with us will be coming to fruition. Because with this freedom, I feel like it's not just a freedom from old versions of ourselves. It's not just freedom from old patterns and versions and things like that. It's very true. Like we're going to be free from old cycles and patterns of behavior. But we're also going to be experiencing this freedom, like potentially of financial freedom, of not being tied to this circle, of maybe making our own money, our own way somehow, right? We're going to be divinely supported and protected for existing in our high priestess energy, for paying attention to our visions, for existing in our love and our light and welcoming new beginnings and anchoring into the light. Like we have to anchor into the light, especially with all the chaos. We are the anchors into the light. We're like the lights shining our way in the dark. And Even when you do simple things, you're doing that. When you make yourself tea, when you have a hot bath, when you take care of your body, your mind, when you do things you love, that's all anchoring light. You're existing in joy. You're emitting this frequency of self-care, of love and joy, which the world just needs. So the more we love and take care of ourselves, the more we can be supported back by the world, and the more that we help raise its frequency by raising our own. And it's just beautiful. It's like we don't have to like go to war for everyone else. Although some people, that is their passion. Maybe some people are potentially like some sort of peace warriors. They could be involved in non-for-profits or doing some legal work to help with injustices, and that's beautiful, and we need that too. But there are other ways to contribute. We can also just contribute by existing in our frequency. All of our paths are beautiful and what's best for us, but there's just going to be a freedom of self, freedom to do what we want when we want. Like, I just feel like freedom from expectations, freedom from patterns, financial freedom, physical freedom. It's just a lot. And all these eyes, right, are on these wings, and they're like flying out of the water. And you might have a connection to water. That's another thing, is like if dragonfly is coming up, you might have a strong connection for water, like healing with water, using water, charging your water with crystals or light, or being in water, changing your frequency work. There could be something there for you guys. I definitely feel that way with water. And these eyes, I feel like it's like I'm getting like third eye stuff. Like these eyes are like spiritual gifts that you're carrying with you. Like you can see, you can hear, you can feel all these things from the other side and channel things. And there's also this sacred geometry, right? So you might be working with sacred geometry or you have, right, to get to this point of upgrades where you are at this like upgraded level of chakras, of self, of spiritual body. There could be some crystal DNA alignment, crystal structures restructuring, because you're trying to hold more and more love and more light. Okay, so to me, I know this isn't a Merkaba, but I'm feeling Merkaba energy. So if that resonates with you, awesome. These are some channeled symbols from my Andromedan family. I'm going to see if one wants to come out for this new year. Is there a symbol that has a message for this collective work in a system? Okay, so many want to come out, so I'm going to have to spread these. So this is what I pulled. So this is the symbol. You can use this for personal use of meditation or something. But I'm going to read my channeled message. So this is the code of cosmic sanctuary. Not just safety, but belonging. A sacred place of spiritual exhale. Let yourself soften, lay your weight down. You are already home in the arms of all. This symbol can help create safe anchoring points for divine contact. And it can help ground the light body for light work, remembrance, and that contact with the higher realms. It can also help you rest between your revelations and be a pause for when your soul is integrating many lifetimes at once. If you're starting to feel overwhelmed by your dreams, visions, or downloads, you may meditate with this symbol over your heart or solar plexus that reminds you amid your awakening, you're allowed to rest. So we're in this huge awakening energy at the moment. I mean, is what I'm feeling with the high priestess, the lizard, the visions, the dreams, the unique gifts, the freedom, the harmonic flight, ace of cups, all these new beginnings. You could be having a lot of downloads and a lot of visions and a lot of ideas, and like sometimes it can be overwhelming. But as we go into this new year, and we could feel like we're hitting the ground running, or you could also feel like you need extra rest. I'm in the latter. I need a little extra rest. That's why I've taken a little bit of time off, because I've been feeling like I've needed the time to heal and integrate. So 9 years is a big cycle, right? Like this is a lot of lessons. This is a lot of things we are integrating from these years so we can start this new journey that we're on in this new year. And it's okay to take a pause, to take some time to integrate, to rest, to meditate, to release those old patterns, to integrate the lessons, release what doesn't serve you. And sometimes when we have these cycles, it can also be a point of major release of past lifetimes or integration of past lifetime lessons as well. So it can feel like more weight in a small sense of like you're integrating everything from these past 10 years, but you're also potentially integrating things from past lifetimes, because in that past 9-year cycle, you may have learned lessons or overcame things that your past life wasn't able to, but you were just able to in this past cycle. So it goes beyond just these past years. You might be integrating lessons that you've been trying to learn for lifetimes, or still have these lifetime attachments that were kind of attached through situations you went through in this cycle that were similar to your past lifetimes. So you're trying to release all of that. When you do that, you could be releasing past lifetimes as well. So that's just something to keep in mind. It's okay to rest. It's okay to integrate and take your time to fill your cup, to stand in your power and do what you need to do to be at this beautiful place of freedom, of power, of, standing your ground for your peace, welcoming in these rewards. And this can also be a positive sign of this connection we can have with the divine. This symbol talks about how you are already in the arms of all. And it can help activate points for spiritual contact as well. It's not just for rest. The symbol can also help with making contact with the other side, which I feel like you might be doing a lot of or have the ability to, because of this high priestess, unique gifts, this freedom. Like I just feel a lot of spiritual gifts from this collective. So this can help remind you that, it's okay to connect. You can rest while you connect. It's okay to take it at your pace. It's okay to integrate even the downloads you're getting for this new year. You could be getting downloads of like things you want to start, things you want to begin, versions of yourself you want to be, passion projects you want to create are coming through. And this can help with also clarity, right? So if you were trying to connect with something very specific of like, okay, I'm unsure about this one aspect of this project or this passion or this path that I think I should be going down on, this can help with that contact. And it's a beautiful reminder that you're held by the universe. You're held by your spirit guides. You are so loved. You are protected at this time. You are encouraged to go forth boldly in your power, in your presence. But as you're doing that, there's this call to make sure you're resting, make sure you're tending yourself. Because if we go guns a-blazing out this year, you might burn out. If there's a project or a goal or something, if you go 0 to 100, right, you could burn out really quickly. And we don't want to burn out. We want to take it at a pace that is manageable for our projects, for our goals, so we can still hold our power, still hold our energy, still hold our peace, and not be overwhelmed by setting unrealistic expectations of when or how to reach your goals. I feel like when people say, "Oh, make your goals realistic," that's not helpful, right? Like, I feel like it's more about the realism of the steps to reach your goal, because I feel like all goals are obtainable, right? It's just about how you go about obtaining that goal. Like, if you want to be an astronaut, you can be an astronaut. If you want to be a writer and publish a book, you can do that. Like, you don't limit your goals, but you want to do things in a way that are manageable so you will not burn out on the process. You don't want to study to the point that you're completely burnt out and you can't finish a test, or you need to take a semester off, which you can do and get back at it. But if you take things at a manageable pace, you'll be able to maintain your energy and not burn out on the way to these goals that are obtainable, that are reachable. We just want to do them in a way that respects ourselves, respects our energy, respects our time, respects our love for ourselves. Because we're going to be in this era of self-love. That's what I'm hearing. Like, this is a self-love era. An era of unapologetically accepting and loving yourself, forgiving yourself for maybe things you did in the past cycle that maybe you're not proud of, but you forgive yourself and we've moved on. We're in this higher energy. We're in this attuned energy. We're in this spiritual energy of attunement with our higher self at this point. And even if it's something like writing or music, like whatever it is for you, you can set little goals, every few months to get a couple chapters done and not be like, oh, I have to write this whole book in 6 months. Like, pace yourself in a beautiful way so you can slowly put all the details into whatever you're creating and not feel pressure, not burn out. Especially don't give in to society's standards of, like, I feel like society has this now mentality. Like, we need it now. I want it now. I want it done now. And then when we do that, we lose the beauty of the process of making the thing or doing the thing that we want to do. It's like people who are hiking and they just want to get to the destination and they're not stopping to be like, wow, look at this beautiful tree. Look at these beautiful rocks. Look at this beautiful stream or these mushrooms. Like, it's not bad to be goal orientated, but we want to enjoy the process. We don't want to be hurt by the process of reaching our goals. And I feel like who I'm talking to understands that. We've learned these lessons. We're going to be approaching things differently this new cycle. We're going to be treating ourselves better, with more love, with more respect, with more boundaries, with more care, with more gentleness that maybe we didn't in the past. And the more that we treat ourselves so beautifully and we tap into spirit and we're aligned with our gifts and we're aligned with what spirit and our beautiful spirit team has for us, the more we can just go with the flow of the divine flow that spirit, universe, God has for us. And oh my gosh, they're showing me somebody on a in a lazy river in a rainbow unicorn what are those called? Inner tubes? And it's so I swear it's so funny sometimes. So yeah, it's like you're this, I don't know, I feel like you have this beautiful rainbow unicorn energy, and you're sitting in your power, you're sitting in your sparkle. so to speak, and going with the river, like whatever rapids, you just like glide over them, like you're just going at your pace. You're gonna reach your destination at the end of this, loop or river, and you're not worried about that. You're enjoying the ride, you're enjoying the process, you're enjoying getting there, and you're just chilling, and you're like, I trust you. Like, I trust you, source. I trust you, spirit. I trust that you're guiding me in the right direction. I'm taking my time. I'm enjoying my life, my process on the way to get to where I'm going. It's a beautiful energy. Thank you guys so much for being with me, for listening to this reading. I hope it resonated with you in some way. If it does, I'd love to hear about it. Feel free to comment or anything that you liked or that resonated with you. I love hearing from all you beautiful souls. It's beautiful to be able to do this, and thank you for being here. I hope you enjoy your day or night with so much love and so much light.